What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more drum and bass, or as we in the Southern California rave scene called this type of drum and bass in the second half of the 90s and early 2000s, jungle. And it's particularly a jump-up style of jungle. This is a track that is more famous in its remix here than in the original, and I don't remember the original, but this one definitely samples a melodic bit from a KRS-One tune, who's like a sort of pioneering hip-hop artist here in the US. Let me give you the full story. This is a remix by DJ Sniper, although often just going by Sniper. In 1996, Sniper released a record with Mystical Influence on the other side, and it was actually the Mystical Influence track that was called Dubplate Pressure. So 3 years pass, and in 1999, Sniper releases another record, and this one is a remix by him of Dubplate Pressure, featuring an MC called GQ, who I think his real name is Gary Francis. I think he's from Hackney. So this version, it sort of ups the intensity, it gives it more of a rough, tough edge, and it was a big hit. I remember I went to a lot of parties with drum and bass / jungle during the mid to late 90s and into the early 2000s. In particular, there was a series of events in Southern California called Hard to the Core, with 2 being the number 2. And it was always one room hardcore, one room drum and bass and jungle. And so because a lot of the people who I went to parties with back then were primarily junglists, I would often be in the hardcore or the techno or trance room, and they'd be in the jungle room all night. But I would also spend time in the jungle room myself. And yeah, I just remember this one really hitting at a number of parties around that period. Now, I don't have the vinyl, so this is like taken from, I don't remember when I got the file, but I've had it for many years. So. But yeah, as I said, the remix of Dubplate Pressure is more famous than the original Mystical Influence track, though it's interesting to me that Sniper was on that same release with a different track, and apparently like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna rework this track. So either way, let's hear it. This is from 1999, Sniper's remix of Dubplate Pressure, which again samples melodically, and you'll hear this right at the start, a hip-hop tune by KRS-One, though I don't remember the name of the track it comes from. Listen. I like instant memories and goosebumps. It's crazy. One party in particular, I remember that it's just utterly destroying everything. First time I heard it was like, what just happened? Now the drum and bass coming in. And then just hard stepping. Oof. Drum and bass artillery. Wait for that KRS-One riff to come back. Bit of a haunted atmosphere. Like industrial wind chimes. Some DJs mix out of it by this point. I forgot this part. That's all this track does. Burn up the place. Tasty guitar riff in the center of it. Almost sounds like acid, but the bass, like, you're not safe anywhere. It's one of those things, I've heard most DJs over the years, both on mixtapes and at parties, mix out of it before the end there, but I also feel like it's the kind of track that, what do you mix after that? What track can follow that up without feeling like a major energy deflation, which is no fault of any other tune, but it is one of those monstrous tracks that needs a bit of space, like anything around it gets shined out a little bit, so yeah, to me it would not be a bad tune to end a mix with. Tunes like that also, having said what I just did, they sometimes can be great starters, because a starter you want to really hit, so if you have a tune that can really carry it out, which I feel like there are a couple other drum and bass tunes I'm familiar with that are on this level, and maybe if you followed this with that, you know, maybe that works, but to me this is an end of the set, you know, leave the turntable smoking and walk away type of tune. And as I mentioned, I heard it at a few parties to enunciate better. But I remember one in particular, an outdoor area at this, let's say, infamous venue, the San Bernardino Masterdome, which was cool at first, but then eventually just so many different promoters used it because it was one of the few venues where, generally speaking, the party would go off without any problems from police or anything. So it's just got played after a while. It was a bit overdone. But either way, I remember this track just destroying the outdoor area. Like complete strangers, like walking around, like high-fiving each other, dancing like crazy people. It was insane. It was madness. So yeah, shout out to Sniper, shout out to Mystical Influence for the original, shout out to KRS-One for that riff, and yeah, just a monumental tune in the jump up jungle flavor of drum and bass at the turn of the millennium. So let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.